Hopefully. There was a little bit of drama there. Hi, I'm Sack Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Argument, and I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara, celebrating Vlogmas and waiting for traffic to pass. It is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025, Christmas Eve. So tomorrow's Christmas Eve. The day after that is Christmas. The day after that is Boxing Day for some people. And then what happens? More on that later. It is snowing here in central Connecticut this morning. There's a little bit of accumulation on the trees and the grass and so on, but they're keeping the streets really clear. It just looks like maybe there was a light rain. It's like slightly damp road surface. I mean, I suppose I could go somewhere if I had to, but I don't have to, especially since I did all that running around yesterday. Let's see. So today I'm just going to be puttering around the house. I want to make cookies, but there's already been a couple of snags there. I wanted to make 3 kinds of cookies, and one kind is apricot anise. In there I take a basic drop sugar cookie recipe, and instead of using vanilla extract, I use star anise extract, and I chop up some dried apricots and mix those into the cookie dough, and proceed from there. I was thinking I was going to make these, and then while I was out, I didn't think to get dried apricots, so I ordered some from Amazon that should be here tomorrow, and I'll do that then. But I still have 2 kinds of cookies I can make today. I was going to make my cappuccino walnut cookies. My mom's like, you should probably make sure the walnuts aren't stale. And I'm like, okay, great. But these cappuccino walnut cookies don't actually have to have walnut in them. The original, it's a slight modification on an original recipe that didn't call for walnuts. So I can still make them, except that they also call for brown sugar. And because I don't bake cookies very often, my brown sugar is just kind of like in a berg, like an iceberg, only it's brown sugar. It's all clumped together, and so I need to look it up online. I'm pretty sure there's a way I can put some water with it and put it in the microwave and hopefully get something I can use. Hopefully. If not, there are some other things I could do. I could make the sugar cookie recipe that I was going to use for the apricot anise cookies and just make something else with those. I also was going to make strawberry lemon cookies, and those are crinkle cookies that you make using cake mix. And I already have the cake mix. I bought it months ago because I was going to make them, and I never got around to it, except now I will. So that's the plan for today, is at the very least to make the strawberry lemon cookies. For those, you find the recipe online. I don't know if they print them on the cake boxes yet, but you can find a recipe online for crinkle cookies using cake mix. And I have a strawberry cake mix, and I have a lemon cake mix, and I mix them separately. And then you can just cook them like that if you want strawberry and lemon in separate cookies. Or what I do is, after I've mixed the dough in separate bowls, I just take a little bit from one bowl, a little bit from the lemon bowl, a little bit from the strawberry bowl, and kind of ball them up together. I put my coffee down to demonstrate and just kind of ball them up together so that you get kind of like a pink and yellow marbled cookie. You could do that with other kinds of cake mixes, like if you wanted a chocolate yellow cake or a chocolate like vanilla cake or something, so that you could get that marbled effect. So at the very least I can do those, because I definitely have the cake mix. I'd also like to finish A Merry Christmas, Yeah, Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn today, because I want to take the other book in this series, or duology, or whatever it is, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, and talk about them together in a bonus Vlogmas episode, Vlogmas After Hours, because they are on the spicy side. And I'm still only about a quarter of the way through this book, which is, I think the last time I checked in on this was like Saturday or something, which is when I read the first quarter. I just haven't gotten to it yet because I've been kind of busy. I had a book that was due back at the library, so I prioritized that. I'm hoping I can finish this today and get that Vlogmas video out. Speaking of Vlogmas videos, I've really enjoyed doing Vlogmas, and I'm going to keep doing some of this for a little while after Christmas, because there were a lot of ideas for videos I had that I didn't get around to because I was busy, or because they kind of required a little more energy and attention. And I was, running around for Christmas and stuff, which was, most of that was just, I chose to do those things. I just didn't have a lot of energy left over to do some of the other things I was planning to do for Vlogmas. And I am really, really enjoying the process. I really feel like I'm learning a lot from this. And so it's a sock marionette, can't stop, won't stop kind of situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, starting on Christmas Day, the 12 days of Christmas. Yes, it's ornaments. I have 12 days of Christmas themed ornaments that I haven't put on the tree yet. And I don't know how many people realize this, but originally the 12 days of Christmas were the 12 days were started on Christmas Day and went until January 6th, which is known as Epiphany. And they were to kind of observe the time between the birth of Christ and the time that the three kings arrived with the gifts on Epiphany, the 6th of January. In modern times, we kind of do the 12 days of Christmas, we kind of treat that as the 12 days before Christmas, like kind of a more secular and or abbreviated version of Advent. But I'm going back to the original, which was the 12 days of Christmas, starting Christmas to Epiphany. And a lot of times I think that was kind of Epiphany, was when people exchanged gifts, because, you know, that's when the wise men brought the gold, frankincense, and myrrh to little baby Jesus. So I have these ornaments for these. So I think each day starting on Christmas, I will take one of these ornaments out of this box. You can see the swans a-swimming. And I will put it on this tree, the gold tree, and I will take one of the gold ornaments off. And I'll do that on camera, and so if you want to see these gold ornaments or the 12 days of Christmas ornaments in more detail, that'll be there for you. I will also be doing your worm of the day, which incidentally today was Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. Forgot to say that when I did the weather and everything, but yeah, that's what it is. I think I'm going to do it a little differently. I might not do things vlog style. I'll have every day, the introduction will be on that day, but what follows may or may not be recorded on that same day. Some of it might have been recorded earlier. Also, I'm going to have to look up the information, but Sarah of Reading Category Romance was telling us in the live stream yesterday that a booktuber, I believe it's the Accidental Bookseller, was suggesting that if people have haul videos or whatever to post, they do so on Christmas, so that people who maybe don't have a lot to do on Christmas have something that they can watch. And I actually have a book haul that I recorded a couple of weeks ago, just so I would have something in my inventory in case I didn't feel like recording a video for Vlogmas on any particular day. And I didn't end up using it, so I will post that on Christmas, I think, as part of that. I think there's a hashtag you're supposed to use, but I can't remember what it is. I'll update you when I come back later to give a general update. My goodness, I had to re-record that so many times. I think I have like 4 or 5 false starts on that and other things in this video. I think I ended up with like 13 minutes of footage. My prediction is it will be edited down to like 8. Probably fewer, hopefully fewer, because this is going to be a monster otherwise. So anyway, that's the plan. Make cookies, read books. Okay, it is several hours later. It is about shortly after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Right now, I'm enjoying Roxy of Roxy Reads is having a live stream with sprints, and it's a sprint right now. So I thought I'd come in and record one last clip for today. I got some baking done. I made the cappuccino walnut cookies and strawberry lemon cookies. There was a little bit of drama there because it's been so long since I baked cookies that I didn't know where anything was, where I'd put my stuff. So I found everything, and the brown sugar, oh my gosh. When I found my baking stuff, I was like, oh right, I still have some brown sugar that's never been opened, so it's fine. But you know, you want to use what you have. You know, use the old stuff before you open the new stuff. So I was like, I will revive this brown sugar. So I put it in the microwave, and I don't know. The advice I saw was to take a damp paper towel, put it over the brown sugar, and then like hit it in the microwave at 20-second increments until it's ready to be used. So I had to go through several cycles of that. And I was like, okay, this can be used. So I carefully, it was still in kind of clumps, so I kind of carefully crumpled it up until I had a cup. I had to pack it down because that was what the recipe called for. And then I think it was like 5, maybe 10 minutes later that I actually went to mix it in. And by then it had kind of like it had kind of clumped again. Anyway, so because the brown sugar was so dry and clumpy, I mixed everything the way I was supposed to. And I was left with this cookie dough that was like really sandy. It was like cookie loam. You know, like you grow leeks in it. So I added more butter, and then finally I added a second egg. Made it a little not quite dry enough, but it was okay. Mom Marionette came in clutch because I was standing there. I was trying to mix it with my hands because it was just like, it looked at the mixer, it looked at the spoons, it looked at everything, and it was just like, no, no. So I was like, I'll just use my hands. So she came in clutch because she's like cutting off the butter and adding it for me and bringing me eggs and things like that, so I don't have to clean off my hands every single time. Anyway, so I did bake it for a little bit longer than usual. And then we had a break, we had some lunch, and then I came back. I made the strawberry lemon treacle cookies, and those were a lot easier. So this is what I ended up with. Trying to keep them from sliding right off the plate. This got a little overdone, so the yellow is a little brown around the edges, but you can see it's got that kind of pink and yellow marbling effect I was talking about. And then these are the cappuccino walnut cookies, just dark brown, because they have baking chocolate in them. I use powdered baking chocolate, and of course, I use espresso powder, so it makes for a very, very dark, very rich cookie dough, even before you start adding in extra eggs and butter and whatnot. This was today's item in my bibliophile book advent calendar. That's the one that has like little bookish things, little trinkets, little bookmarks and stuff like that. And this is very heavy, very well made. And it is glass, and it is this little ornament, and it says, all I want for Christmas is books. It's nice and heavy, and I'm going to go ahead and hang it on the tree. It's the gold tree, but you know what? Books go with everything. There you go. Sarah, reading category romance, was kind enough to send me a link for The Accidental Bookseller, and I will post that in the description. It's I think it's called the Christmas Day on BookTube tag, and it was a little more complicated than just have a book haul and post it on Christmas Day. It was also like the idea, he posted this several weeks ago, and I think the idea was to like go out and get books that you could then show on the haul. Now, I happen to have done that anyway. Yeah, that's pretty standard for me. And there was also a spending limit that he had, which is 50 pounds, which I did the conversion at $67, around $67 US, at least when I checked this afternoon. And the book haul that I recorded was for Book Barn, which is a used bookstore. I was within that limit. And so for that, I will record an intro on Christmas morning and then post it. And then that all works out pretty well, I think. And that'll be my first video for my 12 Days of Christmas project. So in terms of reading today, I did some online reading. I did some listening to podcasts while I played solitaire, because I did spend a lot of time baking and cleaning up after baking and so on. So I did not read any more of Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. Once I'm done recording this and editing it, I'm probably going to be reading this during the sprints on Roxy's channel. As for my plans for tomorrow, it's Christmas Eve, but it's also Wednesday, and Wednesday means midweek motivation at 2 p.m. Eastern. And Christmas Eve is no exception. And I believe Tiffany, the Beach Bum Bookworm, is also going to be hosting sprints on her channel. Again, Beach Bum Bookworm. I don't know if she's decided what time, but she'll be doing that both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. She always likes to do those on holidays. I'm not sure if she's decided what time she's going to do that. I think she might be starting at 4 p.m. I don't know if I'll be done by then, because I am going to be reading On Scandalous Christmas Eve by Susan Stevens, Harlequin Presents, October 2020. And hopefully Sarah, reading category romance again, will be able to join me. And she has a copy of this as well. So we will be trying to do a buddy read if it works out. Hopefully it does. So that'll be what I'm doing tomorrow. And I have some stuff to wrap for Mom Marionette. And I think it's just going to be a relaxed kind of day. So that's the plan for Christmas Eve. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm not the boss of you. I hope you have a good day or night.